Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching The Big Bang Theory. This is the 6th episode of the 7th season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, this is available for in the link in the description below. Just click on it and put the password in and enjoy. So last episode was interesting. You know, Amy was invited to do some work at Sheldon's university. She's going to be in a different building, but she's saying that, you know, she's going to be there for a decent period of time, and it'd be good if they could have lunches together and hang out. And, you know, Sheldon at first was considering it. He was thinking, yeah, no dramas. Like, what's the issue? And then obviously Howard's piped up. He said, look, you know, if I ended up working with Bernadette at work and then coming home and spending all my time with Bernadette, it would just be too much. It'd be kind of overwhelming. Do you know what I mean? Like, too much time spent with her. And I was saying, do you know what? I kind of agree. It's like if you have a favourite meal or a favourite drink or a favourite song. You know, it's your favourite because you really like it. But then if you consistently have it every single day, consistently listen to that song every day, you kind of get bored of it real quick and you want to start to move on. And that was kind of the premise that he was taking. He was like, look, I enjoy spending my time after work with Bernadette because she's my wife. And, you know, like, we've had that time apart. So then when we're together, we could chat and we could talk. But if we're together all the time, then she'll grate on me. And he didn't mean specifically just her, he meant in general. He was talking about Raj as well. But Sheldon's gone on, he's actually told Bernadette this is coming, and then, you know, she's fell out with Howard. You know, she's upset. She's took it as a personal attack, which I get it, because later on in the episode when she explained it, she was like, look, you know, he said that about me, but you spend all day with Raj, you spend all day with Sheldon and Leonard, but then you come home from work and you hang out in their apartment. You know, why is it that you could do it with them and not me? Of course I'm going to be upset. And then I obviously started to kind of like see her side of it. And, you know, I feel like both of them was kind of right. And, you know, the way she acted was a bit overreacting, and the way he acted as well was wrong. So they was both right and both wrong, and they resolved that at the end. But it was an interesting episode, and it all obviously stemmed from basically Sheldon coming over and getting involved in everyone's business. It's pretty funny, to be honest. But, you know, good start to the season, really enjoying it. This is a 6th episode, so hopefully you guys stick around for the course of the 7th season. If you do enjoy today's episode, please smash like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
What are you working on?
Can't talk. In the zone.
Do you know what he's doing?
Could be anything. Last time he was like this, he figured out electron transport and graphene.
Sheldon, you want to take a break? Your food's ready.
What are you doing? He's both happy and quiet.
Great news! A raccoon virus just crossed the species barrier and now can infect humans.
Why is that great news?
In the pharmaceutical business, we have a saying, mo infections, mo money.
Guys, listen up.
Can't listen. Zone. Also don't care.
Next week is the anniversary of my first date with Bernadette.
Really don't care.
I want to do something special, and I was hoping you guys could be a part of it. She's going to be back any second, so here's the deal. I'm writing a song, and I was hoping we could all play it for her together.
And that'd be pretty cool.
It's really sweet what Howard wants to do for Bernadette.
Yeah. Hey, how come you've never done anything romantic to celebrate our first date?
Well, for starters, you've broken up with me so many times. Which first date are we talking about?
What about that bed and breakfast?
Well, I took you there. All you did was...
I know what I did. You know, I can be romantic if I want to.
It's fine. And also not true.
Sheldon?
Zone.
I've never seen him go upstairs.
Figure it out when he falls off the roof. Sheldon, I know you're in the zone, but do you want some tea?
Prepare to be humbled and weep at the glory of my genius. I feel like my mind just made a baby.
Holy crap, Sheldon. Did you just figure out a method for synthesizing a new, stable, super heavy element?
No one's ever done that before, except me, because I just did it. Sheldon and his brain. Yeah. Sheldon and his brain. Yeah.
Right, first of all, let's just say, how the hell does anybody know what that says on that board? Like, honestly, it's ridiculous. I mean, well done to him. Super smart. Crazy. But it's ridiculous. How anybody understands that? Madness. Also, I don't know how recent it is. I was watching a program. I don't know if it was based on current stuff or whatnot, but like, the theory of black holes was by Einstein, and it was always a theory. You know, this is what these guys is, aren't they? They come up with scenarios. If this happens, if this happens, if this happens, and they try and figure it out. Well, apparently Einstein was the one that came up with the black hole theory, that if you go into, you come out of another dimension. I think it was actually proven. Might have been ages ago. I was watching it recently, so I don't know. But, like, I think that it was actually scientifically proven that Einstein's theory of a black hole, you go into it, you come out in another place or whatever, is actually factually true. I think that's actually interesting. That's, like, one of the only times I've seen somebody theorize something and then actually comes to fruition and it's actually really true. You know what I mean? There's probably other examples as well, but obviously I watch this and then I just watch other documentaries and stuff when you're chilling while you're having your teen stuff in the background, and that was what I was like, hey, decent. These are theorists. It literally made me think of this program. Like, these are theorists as well, and they're always thinking about stuff, and they've never really sold anything yet. Maybe he has done, and that's interesting. Again, don't know how to understand that, but I mean, I've always wanted Sheldon to actually succeed and do something properly. Let's hope this is it.
Almost done writing the song for Bernadette. You cool playing the cello?
If by cool you mean willing to, yes.
Great. Will you play the ukulele?
Of course. Fine, I will melt her heart.
And her face! No doubt you heard about my little breakthrough. Now, if your plan is to hoist me on your shoulders and carry me around the cafeteria, please refrain. Just learned a Chinese research team at the Hubei Institute for Nuclear Physics ran a test on a cyclotron, and the results were extremely promising.
So what happens next?
Oh, more testing, more success, more fame. Yeah, but don't worry. I will remain the same down-to-earth, humble Joe I've always been.
As I'm sure you're aware, the quickest way to a man's heart is through his...
Pants, but Leonard says sex doesn't count.
You poor thing. You have one arrow in your quiver and you just can't use it. Stomach.
Food, yeah, food.
I don't know if I want to cook for him. He's kind of a picky eater. I mean, it's too salty, it's too dry, it's too burnt and frozen at the same time.
Could stand outside his window with a boombox in the air. Look, Penny, if you truly want to be romantic, it needs to come from you.
I get that, but why is this so hard?
Oh, you've probably never had to do this stuff because you're young and beautiful and men have always thrown themselves at you.
Yeah, I'm trying to be sad about that. I can't.
You know, like he's saying that it has to come from her. That's true. Like, maybe she, like, something romantic and would be something random that he enjoys. Like, she could take him to a Star Wars evening dinner, you know what I mean? Like, where people dress up as cosplay. He really loves that. And do you know what I mean? Like, it's not always the price, it's the thought that counts. You've seen it when she got she got Sheldon that signed autograph on a napkin. Melted his heart. It was literally the best gift he ever had. And that was because it meant something to him. Now, she does something romantic, you know what I mean? Like, in a context of something that Leonard likes, then it just cements that you're actually... Do you know what I mean? It's not like you just plucked out your ass and just said, let's go here. It's like you sat down, you thought about it, and you come up with something that really means something to Leonard. Do you know what I mean? So I'm excited to see what she actually thinks up and you know, like musters through to do this romantic dinner for him. Or evening, whatever it is that she chooses.
This is the magic marker I was using when I made the discovery. Ooh, guess who's getting an article written about him in Physics Today? I'll give you a hint. You measured the diameter of his suspicious mole yesterday.
What's next?
This is the very copy of the Handbook of Chemistry and Physics, in which I looked up the reaction rates of Mendelevium and...
Surely he's not made
what?
an error.
I've made a horrible mistake. Amy, I was off by a factor of 10,000.
But the Chinese team found the element.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't have. My calculations were wrong.
The element was found because of you, and that's groundbreaking.
Yeah, what matters is the greatest scientific achievement of my life is based on a blunder. Like, I'm not a genius. I'm a fraud.
Right, the thing is, you understand where he's coming from there. Like, basically, he's thought, like, he wrote down... Let's just say he thought he wrote down French fries. Yeah, and they said, yeah, and it was meant to be curly fries. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's like, that's not what I planned. You know what I mean? I don't know anything about science, so I'm just using that as an example. He went for one element and he got the different one. It was still success, though. But like somebody like Sheldon would hardcore put that pressure on himself and basically say that I'm not the one that discovered it, they did. You know what I mean? I give them the tools for normal French fries, and they actually found curly fries. That's nothing to do with me. It's nothing I even created. You know what I mean? I understand it, where he's coming from, and he's probably morally, factually correct, but at the end of the day, they wouldn't have achieved and made that success if it wasn't for all his hard work. So at the end of the day, I would say it was his discovery. Regardless of whether he's wrote it down incorrectly, the information that he passed over was just the correct information, just for the wrong thing. So does that mean that he still didn't get it right? Because he did. Do you know what I mean? Like, he passed all those calculations over. Even if he wrote down an error, that thing that he transferred to there was factually correct and discovered a new element. So he still has success. And to be honest, who knows if he uses the correct procedure, element, whatever mathematical situation that he was supposed to do, if he doesn't discover a second element. Imagine that. Somebody one individual discovering 2 chemical elements. That's madness, isn't it? And I would be striving towards that. I'd hold it in the bank, go take the success from this, try and recreate it again with this one, see if I can get success again. But Sheldon, it's 50-50. I think that he's just going to be a down now. He's going to be on his downer.
Gotta stop beating yourself up over this. I mean, you made a mistake, but it was a happy mistake.
There's nothing happy about it. I'm being given credit that I don't deserve.
Oh, people get things they don't deserve all the time.
I've got to find a way to stop this thing.
Buddy, I don't think you can. I mean, once it's out there, it's out there. This thing is like the science equivalent of a sex tape.
You know, frankly, I'd prefer a sex tape.
You don't know what a sex tape is, do you?
No.
Make sure you guys get to the restaurant by 8. Bernadette's meeting me there at 8:30, and I don't want to blow the surprise.
Leonard, give me a beat.
I will not.
Please.
It'll be romantic.
It will be.
Stop it. Stop celebrating me. I want you all to know that you have no reason to applaud me. My so-called breakthrough wasn't the result of my genius. It was nothing more than a boneheaded mistake. I don't need to take this admiration from the likes of you people.
Look, and you know, the only way I can describe this is in football terms. Or soccer, whatever you want. If somebody scores a goal, but they didn't mean to score it, sometimes people just pass the ball. You know what I mean? Like, they go to run down and cross it in for somebody else to score, but they'll miskick it and they'll slice it, and it'll just go in the goal. Does that person not celebrate from an accidental mistake that turned into a success? No, you do. It's just as good. His information found the element. Whether or not he meant to pass that information over is redundant. You know what I'm saying? Without his research and his information, it wouldn't have been found. So he has succeeded. Not in the way he wanted to, but, you know, he didn't give false information. He gave factual, credible, legit information that turned out to be real.
Boy, Bernadette is gonna love this.
Yeah, it must be nice to have someone do something so romantic.
You know, it's not romantic rubbing it in someone's face.
Actually, it can be, but I told you sex doesn't count.
The National Science Foundation wants to give me a substantial grant.
Oh, that's a big deal.
I know. When will this nightmare end?
I've been thinking about it, and you're right. You don't deserve any credit. Honestly, I'm embarrassed for you.
She's reverse psychology,
That's the
name.
most romantic thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, like, it's obvious. She knows.
There's an accident at Bernie's lab.
Oh my God, is she okay?
Yeah, but she's at the hospital in quarantine.
What? Poor Bernadette.
Oh, I hate to pile on the bad news, but I just got a raise.
What happened?
Well, let's just say the next time you move a dozen vials of raccoon virus to the fridge, make 2 trips. Sorry I messed up our date.
Don't worry about it. I brought the date here. Guys, come on in.
Might be contagious. Don't you think I'm having a rough enough day?
If I didn't have you, life would be blue. I'd be Doctor Who without the TARDIS. Cheese without the Mac. Jobs without the Wozniak. I'd be solving exponential equations that use bases not found on your calculator, making much harder to crack. An atom without a bomb, a dot without the com, and I'd probably still live with my mom. I couldn't have imagined how good my life would get from the moment that I met you, Bernadette. Speak a lot more Klingon, Kalaknecht Cockjudge Von.
He definitely still live with his mom.
Oh, we couldn't have imagined how good our lives would get from the moment that we met you, Bernadette.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing. Look, I'm shaking.
She's sick, I knew it. Bye.
I discovered a secret ingredient, the flavor packet. That sucker is well named. Get ready, because there is a crap storm of romance coming your way.
Rose petals.
Yes, the most beautiful and shockingly expensive of all the flowers. It's a first edition of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. What?
Do you not like it? Oh, has he got it?
I love it.
No, something's going on. What's wrong with it? I remember you saying how great it would be to have a first edition.
When we were at the used bookstore together and I saw the first edition and I bought it.
It's thoughtful.
What's thoughtful is everything you do. Look, here's the plane ticket you bought me when I was too poor to go home for the holidays, and the rose you left in my windshield.
I can't believe you saved all this stuff.
In it. That's actually cool.
Of course I did.
Is that a pregnancy test?
Oh yeah, just the first one. I didn't save them all.
I blame you.
Me? What did I do?
But you distract me. I've been distracted since the moment I met you, because all I can think about is how much I want to kiss you, like mommies and daddies do.
Oh, Sheldon.
Amy.
Fuck yeah, mate. That actually got me, that. Oh, that's pissed me off, that. I don't usually swear much, but I fully thought that was real. And the reason why is because when Howard was singing, right, if you look at Sheldon in that line, he was doing his thing, like, some of the things that he was saying, like, ever since I met you, my life is not the same, or whatever he was saying anyway, it looked like Sheldon was taking it in. And I actually thought that scene was going. That was one of the only times where I've actually, like, when she got up and she said, yeah, I feel like, you know, you don't deserve credit and you cheated and you felt it's accidental and yeah, blah, blah, and you are a fraud. I totally knew that she was doing that to get on his side because that's what he wanted to hear. Do you know what I mean? He didn't want people to tell him that, you've done this, you've done that, it's great, it's X, Y, and Z, when he's actually down himself, and he wanted somebody to be on his wave, and she was on it, and she reads his room quite well, to be honest, and I actually fell for that one then. I actually proper thought that was going to happen then. Mate, that what a letdown. But what a good, like, that's how you, see, I've said it many times, but this is how you do their relationship. I.e., it's not forced, and it's a proper slow burner, but, like, it's an interesting one, and that's how you tease it. Because if it was if that happened, then everyone would have been like, "Hey, get in there, mate, finally." But at the end of the day, they've teased us, and you're like, "Oh my god, mate!" And it's like, that's when you know it's a good relationship. Either way, it happened, you'd be buzzing. If it didn't happen, you gutted, and that shows that everybody's invested. So I feel like somehow this show's done really well and getting everybody invested in a Sheldon Cooper relationship. I'm proper loving it. It was really good. I can't wait for the time it actually happens. But what a bait and switch that was. Proper bait and switch. Fair play. That's good writing. Proper got me then. Okay, that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out our channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Mate, good episode. Is this the best one of the season? Do you know what, right? I think this is probably one of the best starts for a season that we've had. I am really, really enjoying it. I'm not going to lie. Love anything we're singing. I think it always makes episodes better. I just love it in general. It's just upbeat and happy, innit? Like, let's be honest. Like, you can't tell me that song wasn't good. Everybody was taking part. It was a bit emotional. It was happy feels, happy vibes. Everybody was loving it. It was just decent. And, you know, going to the Penny situation. Well, first of all, let's just finish off on Bernadette and Howard, yeah? That was a nice gesture moment. It was romantic. It was thoughtful. It was straight from the heart. And that is what you would call a perfect romantic moment. Now let's go over to, you know, Penny and Leonard, yeah? He's doing these things all the time for Penny. He's giving her all these stuff that she's got in the box that he never really knew that she was keeping. But from her side, it's really romantic, and she's thankful and thought, and you know what I mean, and for everything that he's doing. And she put some thought into something for him that meant on a personal level. I was saying you could do something like go on the Star Wars, you know, event and dress up as cosplay. That's something that he really enjoys. She kind of not flipped it, but she went down the avenue of stuff that he does enjoy, and she remembers him saying that he really wished that he could have a first edition book of this one. She got it. Perfect. Now, it's not her fault that he bought it on his own. You know what I mean? It was a thought that counted. She was straight from the heart as well. And I thought it was really good. Fair play to her. She put her heart into it. And I feel like, to me, it was a success anyway. She was kind of a bit upset from it, but I feel like it was good. And then, obviously, we just finished on Sheldon. He made a great scientific discovery. It was accidental, but who cares? You know, at the end of the day, your information, your equation, whether you wrote it down incorrectly, turned out to be something factually true to science to prove that there's another chemical element. Reaping the rewards, mate. You know what I mean? You're not a fraud. You found it. It's your equation. Get the benefits. Get the magazines. Get the pay rise. You know, get the attention. You love to see it. You know, you do. So overall, great episode. Really enjoyed it. Put a smile on my face all the way through. Proper tease me at the end as well. Absolute tease, mate. Can't wait to see the next one. Thanks for checking out today's episode. If you did enjoy it, please smash like. Really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.